Hello everyone, TMMgamer here, and today I'm bringing you my very first Mass Effect 3 content. Now, I've been looking forward to this moment for quite a while now, because I have to say I've been absolutely loving the Mass Effect 3 demo. It's a fantastic demo. But before I get into that, I just want to, outline a little bit about Mass Effect, because this is a series that I really hadn't got into at all until this demo, because obviously I think it was an Xbox 360 exclusive to begin with, so obviously me being a PS3 guy, I didn't really have the opportunity to go out there and buy the game. But I saw my mate playing on the old one, Mass Effect 2, about a month ago, and he told me that a new one was coming out, so obviously I got into it. I had to look at the wiki, read all the backstory, and it really touched my interest, because as most of you guys know by now, I am a big shooter fan. I'm also a big fan of games with a fantastic story, and this game covers all the bases for me. It's a shooter, and the story is just one of the best I have ever seen in a game. I mean, I've been on the Mass Effect wiki, and if you guys haven't been on that, I really recommend it. It's just type Mass Effect wiki into Google and it'll come up for you very easily. But I have enjoyed reading the backstory so much. In fact, I've enjoyed the backstory more than I've enjoyed quite a lot of games I've tried before. So I absolutely love this game, and the demo is an excellent demo, because the vast majority of times when you get a games company release a demo, they'll give you one very bad level. It'll be a level which isn't really very important to the story. You can't really do anything very interesting in the level, and that'll be it. The graphics will be poor quality, the animations will be poor, all of these things. Mass Effect and BioWare have really done excellently with this demo. Not only is there about an hour's gameplay, single player gameplay, there is unlimited multiplayer gameplay. You can play multiplayer basically as it will be in the final game. Obviously they're going to be tweaking classes a little bit, but I'm not really going to talk about the classes I'm using at the moment. This is just going to be a slight overview of the demo and my thoughts on the game, because what I am going to start to do is I am going to start to do a Mass Effect 3 multiplayer class guide. Now, I'm going to be very specific with this, because as most of you guys know, or if you don't know, I'm just going to run through it, but there are, say, 5 main classes. There's the Soldier, the Infiltrator, the Sentinel, the Adept, Engineer. These sorts of guys. There are 4 or 5 broad classes, but within each of those classes, there are 4 different races that you can use, like human, female, Krogan, Turians, Drell, all of these different races. So you really get around 20 different classes you can use, and within those 20 different classes, you can level up your guy as as you want. So, for example, I'll just give you a quick overview. Currently, I'm using a human female Sentinel, and I'm using that for the warp power and the throw power, and those are 2 of the ones that I really get into and I really enjoy, and that is going to be the first class that I do my multiplayer class guide on. But I don't want to get too deep into that, because like I said, I'm going to be doing the special guides later. There are 1 or 2 problems with the demo. As you can see from the picture here, it's a little bit laggy. That is the only problem. And in the single player component, a couple of the facial animations aren't quite up to scratch, but this is just a demo. Obviously they've got all of this time. There's still about a week or so to release, because it gets released in the United States on the 6th of March, and it gets released in the EU and the UK on the 9th of March. So obviously there's a little bit of time for them just to get that final polishing done. But the game has been, it's been brilliant. It's been so fun to play. I've enjoyed every last second of it. And if you guys don't know, perhaps if you haven't seen this before, the multiplayer is a new addition to the Mass Effect series, because Mass Effects 1 and 2 were just purely single player games. And obviously when a game is purely single player, you're a little bit wary of introducing a multiplayer element, because sometimes it can feel a bit forced, like they've just tacked a multiplayer element on just so they can put it on the outside of the box. But with Mass Effect, I think this really fits in with the character of the game, and it fits in. It feels like an extended version of single player, and that's what I think BioWare and EA have done very well with this. Because I'll just give you a quick outline of the format. Basically, it's very similar to a Horde mode on Gears of War, and there are 10 levels where you're given basically tasks. Some levels are like the level I'm doing now, where it's just kill all the enemies that attack you, but some of them are kill high value targets, and these are normally the very, very difficult ones to kill. Like some of them are guardians, some of them are the big tank things, the mechs, and it'll be kill that. Occasionally it's like hack this computer or turn off these computers or find this information. So the levels are kept fresh, and I think it's pretty random what order the levels come in, so you're constantly given new challenges and forced to adapt your tactics. And as you guys can see, you are up against computer AI opponents, and you might think, oh, that's not really multiplayer, but you seriously have to work together in this. You know, this is just one enemy. You're only against Cerberus at the moment. In the completed game, I think you fight Geth and you fight loads of different enemies, so this is just a tiny snapshot. But even against this one type of enemy, you have to work together as a team, because certain classes do things very, very well. For example, the Sentinel class that I'm using now is an excellent support class because it has good biotic powers, and you can use those biotics to stun enemies. However, for example, against this bad boy turret here, you get torn to shreds, as I do there. You need someone like a Krogan or something with a bit of extra firepower to help get your squad together, and this is what, you know, this game really does well for me. It's that additional teamwork element. You know, you don't get many games anymore that have that teamwork element, and that is a really crucial selling point to me of the Mass Effect 3 demo. And you really get immersed into the universe with the multiplayer, because basically you act as special forces. You are just a small elite group who have to drop in behind enemy lines and get information and kill these high value targets, and it really does fit in with the, you know, battle for survival of the main single player campaign. And I think they've done this so brilliantly, because it would have been very easy for them just to throw in any mismatched multiplayer, just like I said, just so they could get it on the outside of the box. But they have really done this fantastically well, and I've just been enjoying playing it so much. Obviously, there's a little bit of problems with the connection, you know, a little bit of problems with the animation. Occasionally, you bug out at the demo. But, you know, this is a demo. This is the best demo I have ever played for a game. I mean, I can give this demo no higher praise. I mean, it's not perfect, but no one can name a perfect demo. There's no such thing as a perfect demo. You know, that's the whole point of getting, you know, betas and demos out. It's so you can see how it plays when it gets crash tested, basically. Because the average player of Mass Effect will try and tear this apart. Because I bet there's people out there who've tried to find exploits and tried to find glitches, and you need that to help improve your game and patch your game. So this is such a fun game to play. The demo is excellent, and like I said, you've got over an hour of single player gameplay. You've got literally unlimited multiplayer gameplay. You can spend as much time on multiplayer as you want. There's no limit at all. Your characters continue to rank up as well, because what often you see in multiplayer demos is they'll put a character level limit on, so you can only rank up to level 10. So after you've done that, there's not really much point. But with, you know, this, you can just keep growing and growing your character, trying out new powers, unlocking new weapons. You know, you can infinitely experiment. Unfortunately, the gameplay you put onto the demo isn't going to transfer onto the full game, so that does discourage you from literally pouring hours into it. But I must have spent at least 6 or 7 hours on this already, and I'm going to spend some more time on it tonight, because it's just so fun, and it's such a refreshing change from multiplayer on Call of Duty or a game like that, because the teamwork element really is brilliant. And I'm so looking forward to playing this game with 3 friends, you know, and giving the call outs and shouting out where the enemies are and really working together. Because at the moment, you just sort of dive in, it assigns you 3 random teammates and you go from there. But I can imagine, you know, you picking your squad very carefully, so all of you do quite individual roles and support each other, because it's all about the teamwork in this. And, you know, one player cannot win the round for you. You see here, I spend all of my time in and around my teammates, because the Sentinel, who's the class I'm playing now, the main strength of that Sentinel is holding the enemy off, you know, stunning them using throw, weakening them using warp, to now, you know, allow those slightly harder hitting characters to take the damage off them. And, you know, I have really enjoyed this game. Just a little bit on this final level here. As you can see, after you've done the 10 levels, you go to level 11, which is basically an escape level. You retreat to the extraction spot, and you try and hold the enemy off for as long as possible. Now, Unfortunately, we managed just to cling on here. I'm going to spoil this for you, but it is a very, very, very exciting ending. And, you know, I can just imagine this on gold, because there are 3 difficulties of challenge. There are bronze, silver, and gold. And this is a bronze challenge because, you know, the 4 of us are relatively low level here. I think I'm level 10 or 11, you know. I'm not that powerful a character, so if we were to try a gold challenge, we get monstered. But I'm just so looking forward to giving that a challenge, you know, giving that challenge a go. It's an absolutely fantastic game. I've enjoyed every second of it so far, and I'm definitely going to get this. It's just an excellent, excellent game. Another really good feature as well is that multiplayer helps you in your single player campaign, because obviously Mass Effect 3 is massively single player based. But if you spend a lot of time on multiplayer, you get helped in the single player as well, because it counts as if these are fighting in the real universe. So these are going into enemy lines, getting information that Shepard will use in his battle against the Reapers. So I really like that extra level of immersion. But the thing I like even more about it is that it's optional. You don't have to play multiplayer. You know, you're not going to get a major advantage. If you spend all of that time you play multiplayer playing single player, you'll get probably more advantage. But multiplayer is there for you if you enjoy it. And I have been enjoying this game so, so much. The demo is free to download. I sincerely recommend you play it. And yeah, I'm a new player to the series, and I have absolutely loved it. So I'm guaranteeing you will love it as well. It's a fantastic game, and I've enjoyed every second. So guys, look forward to seeing a lot more Mass Effect 3 content from me, because at the moment this game is rocking my world, and it isn't even out yet. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed the Mass Effect 3 stuff, and as always, have a fantastic